Welcome back to SportsCenter. What a game it was in the Big Easy. And the biggest storyline to come from the Vikings win, probably Kirk Cousins. He got that monkey off his back. 2-10 in his career versus playoff teams, 0-8 in primetime. But he more than got it done Sunday on the road, leading the Vikings and his first career playoff win as well. Behind, most importantly, tons of support from his teammates. Listen.
Special moment, man. Happy for Kirk, man. Happy he's our leader, and it just defines if you come together as a unit. Special things can happen, and you just buy into what the coaches got planned for us. Special things can happen, and I know it's been a lot of critics of about number 8, but we happy to have him. In Minnesota, being our quarterback, and that was a special moment I know in his career.
Getting that game ball, what he said in the locker room afterwards, that was a lot of fun to watch. And Courtney Cronin front and center for all things Vikings, joining us live now. I mean, there's a fine line between enjoying a huge win and getting ready for your next challenge against the 49ers. So what is Mike Zimmer and company, what are they doing as this game approaches?
Yes, Sage, amid the celebration in the locker room Sunday, Mike Zimmer reminded his team what happened the last time they beat the Saints in the playoffs. Long story short, they didn't play well, and they lost in the NFC Championship in Philadelphia by 31 points. So the goal this week, using Adam Thielen's verb choice, is to, quote, flush the emotional moments from New Orleans. In that overtime win, and with Kirk Cousins receiving the game ball in a euphoric locker room celebration. As Danielle Hunter, the defensive end, told me, after the Minneapolis Miracle in 2018, it was, quote, kind of like we sat on that too long instead of moving on. We're in the playoffs right now, and this doesn't come around too often. We're focused.
You mentioned Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen seems to be healthy, a huge sign for the Vikings. Even though they're the 6th seed, and 6 seeds, 5-19 in the divisional playoff round with 8 straight losses. I'm just saying, we'll see if the Vikings can reverse that. Courtney Cronin with the latest. Thank you.
SportsCenter, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Spend your life living.
Kevin Agandi, Sage Steele, our top story today. Coaching hires in the NFL. We start with the Panthers, who've hired Matt Rule. He spent the last 3 years as the head coach at Baylor, completely turning around that program. So now he turns his attention to a Panthers team featuring all-pro running back Christian McCaffrey and quarterback Cam Newton, the former MVP, whose future is up in the air. By the way, it's a 7-year, $60 million deal for the 44-year-old Matt Rule. So that means 4 of the 5 NFL coaching vacancies have been filled. Joe Judge, Matt Rule will be taking over their first lead jobs in the NFL. Meantime, Mike McCarthy and Dallas Ron Rivera in D.C. picked up their second head coaching jobs. Browns now the only team still searching for a new coach, Cleveland Browns. Earlier today, Stephen A. Smith pointed out that once again, minority and black coaches are being overlooked for head coaching jobs in the NFL.
There is a Rooney Rule in place, and still this kind of stuff is happening. I want to announce on national television that I personally am going to take it upon myself, whether it's to communicate with the NFL league office, whether it's to communicate with owners, whether it's to sit up here and raise holy hell, whether it's to recruit my contemporaries in this business to address it. We got a problem. This is some BS. Ain't no way around this. We moving in a reverse direction. We moving in a reverse direction. Black men are not being treated fairly in the National Football League. Somebody got to say it. Somebody got to say it. You got to be kidding me. When the stuff that has happened over the last year, for this stuff to go on and we just gonna sit up here and have a sports conversation. No, I ain't having no damn sports conversation at this particular moment. Something wrong. Now, the National Football League or somebody else, we got to change this Rooney Rule. It's bogus, clearly, because it's being bypassed. The original intent, what it was intended to produce, is being circumvented. And black men in the National Football League are being ostracized from key positions in the National Football League. Somebody needs to say it. The NFL, league owners, the world of sports, sports talk television, sports radio, y'all are going to be hearing from me. Something got to be done. Something got to be done.
NFL insider Dan Graziano is back. So, okay, 32 NFL teams, just 3 black head coaches in the league, when the league consists of 70% African-American players, Dan. Rooney Rule, which of course requires teams to interview minority candidates, that was instituted in 2003, a very long time ago. We haven't seen much change. What's going on?
Well, part of what you hear is that the pipeline, right, the guys that get head coaching jobs are usually offensive coordinators, quarterback coach types, and there haven't been a lot of minority coaches in those roles. But there are a few now, and you have Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, working for Andy Reid, a coach who, half the league, it feels like, is former Andy Reid assistants, and he's been on interviews the last couple of years, but hasn't been able to get an offer. But then you look at, there should be more guys getting interviews. Why isn't Leslie Frazier, the defensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills, getting interviews based on what they've done there? Why isn't Jim Caldwell getting a sniff, as a former head coach who had success prior to being let go by Detroit? I think that, there's a Byron Leftwich is the offensive coordinator in Tampa under Bruce Arians. He didn't get any interviews. I was surprised by that. So I think, look, part of this year, fewer openings, right? There's five openings as opposed to the 6 or 7 or 8 there usually are. So that's part of it. But it's definitely about teams needing to expand their searches beyond the usual candidates.
I think the hard part is you can instill a rule, but as far as actual changes taking place, this is not an overnight fix. I don't think anybody has that answer right now. Dan, back later to break down the plan for Cam Newton in Carolina under Matt Rule. Thank you. January 7th, 1997. That was the day Lamar Jackson was born, exactly 23 years ago today. So yes, happy birthday to this season's MVP favorite, Lamar and the Ravens, preparing for Saturday night's divisional playoff game against the Titans. It's in Baltimore after Jackson led this Ravens team to the best regular season in franchise history. Birthday boy, not talking about his birthday today though, asked about the game.
Every game is serious. Every game is important. Every regular season game was important. And like I said, every playoff game is a Super Bowl because it's do or die, you win and go home.
Is there any concern for you having that long way off, of having rust early in that game?
No, I'm good. My team good. We trying to win it all.
Jeremy Fowler is with the Ravens live from their practice facilities in Owings Mills, Maryland. And Jeremy, it looks balmy behind you. We'll try to make this quick. The biggest question for the Ravens centers around their top-ranked running game because Mark Ingram dealing with that calf injury. What can you tell us?
We'll say it's just beautiful playoff weather behind me. Started around the time when the Ravens took the outdoor practice field about 1 p.m. And so they didn't want to risk Mark Ingram slipping on the snow with that calf strain. They wanted to be cautious with him. I did speak with a source close to Ingram. They said that he's making great strides in his rehab. So all outlooks look good, but they want to see how he feels by, say, Thursday's practice. And just in case, I spoke with running back Gus Edwards, who's part of that 3-man vaunted rushing attack with Lamar Jackson. He said he's ready for max reps in practice this week, but he always expects Ingram to play because he's so tough.
He had over 1,000 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns in his first season in Baltimore. Lamar, really good, but Mark, excellent as well. Jeremy Fowler, get inside. Thank you.
Dallas shoot Tigers going to war. 1, 2, 3. Get that heartbeat going. Let's go. Get it going now. Go Tigers.
We play the game to win it, and that's it.
Welcome to Death Valley, where opponents dream come to die. We take no prisoners. Man, what about the Tigers?
You want to go ahead and say it?
Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
I sure hope they give him a lifetime contract. He deserves it.
Yeah, as if New Orleans needs another reason to party. An extra week leading up to the national championship is here for LSU fans, and it's created a unique playoff buzz. Billboards around the city capture the great philosopher Edward James Orgeron Jr.'s simple message. It's not go Tigers, it's we coming. Actually, if you want to come to the game, get ready for a hefty price. According to Ticket IQ, the average cost for a ticket is nearly $2,100. Stefano Fasaro is with the LSU locals.
We're less than a week away from the college football playoff national title game, so we decided we should go around Baton Rouge and ask LSU fans how they're preparing for the game. But first, we should ask Mike the Tiger where we should start. Hey, Mike, where should we go? We're at Lemoyne's near LSU's campus, and I'm here with Kenny, who's telling us about this pretty cool mural we got here.
Yes, sir. This is the Joe Burrow mural. This is the Golden Arm Award, his Heisman Trophy, the SEC Championship, and also the Peach Bowl.
But you do have an empty spot there, I noticed.
That's for Monday night when we win the championship, LSU #1.
And now we're at Coach O's favorite restaurant here in Baton Rouge, Mike Anderson's, and we're with Mike Anderson II himself. The video that went viral was Joe Burrow on his recruitment trip. He was here trying to get crawfish, and he couldn't get any. What happened, Mike?
Well, I don't know what happened in the past, but I tell you what, when these guys win the national championship, they can have all the crawfish they want. Go Tigers!
Mike, what's up, man? Just the guy I was looking for. I'm looking for these real big LSU fans. I think it's called University School. You know where that is? It's that way? You guys sure? You sure it's that way? All right, cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Hey, look, I found all the students. They're not in class because it's National Championship Week here in Baton Rouge. Hey, guys, is Clemson going to win this game?